Hey ladies, it's Reenee, clinical herbalist and Ayurvedic enthusiast. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to understand and overcome PMS. If you're experiencing PMS symptoms, you're going to want to tune in to today's video. For more videos on how to stop painful periods and PMS, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. So if you're experiencing any kind of PMS, leave a comment below. Tell me what you're experiencing and we can get into it on future videos, and let me know if this video was helpful to you. So how do we understand and overcome PMS? So the way that I actually went about this is when I was working with women, I noticed that PMS is kind of similar to Vata season or autumn season, right? So we've kind of labeled our menstrual cycle in terms of seasons. And if you're not familiar with this, you can watch some of my other videos where I talk about this in more detail. But our PMS phase is basically our inner autumn. It's the waning moon phase. It's the time of release. And the purpose of PMS is to actually release toxic energy. According to Ayurveda, there's really one root cause of illness, and that is the accumulation of toxic energy or ama in the body. So as women, we actually have an opportunity during PMS to release these toxic energies. This is oftentimes why we feel emotional or why we have bloating or swelling. We're kind of accumulating everything and then releasing it as we get our period. So actually this is an opportunity for us. So this is why it's so important to understand PMS. This is why it's so important to get to the reason behind why you are accumulating these toxic energies in the body. We often believe, or at least in ancient medicine, the belief is that these toxic energies actually come from emotions, unprocessed feelings, unprocessed emotions, toxic thoughts that we think over and over start to accumulate in our auric field, then eventually into our tissues, and then eventually turns into some sort of chronic ailment because there's accumulation of so much toxic energy. So when you're having this release, it's kind of a clue as to what are the toxic buildups, so to say, or toxic energetic buildups in your body. So if, for example, you're experiencing a lot of anger, you're obviously accumulating a lot of hot toxic energy or heating toxic energy. Your body is overheated. This puts you at risk for burnout. It puts you at risk for heart issues or cardiovascular issues, high blood pressure, anything to do basically with blood or cardiovascular system. If you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, then you're obviously having excess air and ether energies in the body. So this puts you at risk for thyroid issues, for nervous system issues, right? And if you're having a lot of depression, sadness, then you're going to be at risk for kapha issues or excess kapha in the body, which looks like, lethargy, heaviness, weight gain, PCOS, diabetes, things along those lines. So that's the reason it is so important to understand this and overcome it. So how do we overcome it? There's two ways that we can overcome it. One is on the physical realm, right? So you've accumulated this toxic energy on a physical realm. So you've had, for example, if we have excess kapha in the body, we may be eating heavy foods. We may be eating oily foods, fatty foods, too much meat, excess carbs. Just cut back and switch to lighter foods, switch to the sprouted foods, switch to vegetables, switch to bitter tasting foods so that you can physically start to stop accumulating these heavier, denser energies. We can also counter this by things like movement. So you want to start getting more movement in to move that heavy, dense energy. If you think about kapha, it's like earth and water and it kind of gets stuck. You need something to move it. It's a little bit too cohesive. People with excess kapha tend to get attached to things. They can be greedy. They have difficulty moving on from, one thing to the next. They may stay a little longer in a job or in a relationship. So you can start to change that. You can start to change that about yourself. You can start to change things up. Change your routine. Have a different routine for every single day. Change the way that you do things. Start to introduce more change and more movement in your life. If you're having excess heat in the body, you want to start to cool it down. You want to bring in more joy. People with excess heat tend to be, they tend to work really hard. They tend to be perfectionists. They tend to be workaholics. So, you know what? Slow down. Bring more joy in your life. Connect with others. Do things that, warms the heart, but not overheats it, right? So maybe chill out a little bit. Focus around ovulation to make sure that you're connecting with others and you're keeping your heart chakra balanced and happy. And if you've got too much anxiety, you need to start to ground. So you need more stillness, because this is air and ether. It's moving really, really quickly. You want to be still. You want to ground. So physically, you want heavier foods. You want more nourishing foods, because that gives you that grounding, that stability. And activity-wise, you want to slow down. You want to meditate more. You want to be in connection with the earth more. You want a little bit more time of solitude to let those energies settle. So it's really about slowing down. So this is how we can overcome our toxic energies. So I hope that helps. Remember, if you want to know more about your specific symptoms, leave a comment below. I'll try my best to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more information on how to stop painful periods and PMS, do download my free guide at www.loveyourmooncycle.com. Come find me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.